Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. So, we got the moon base on the way to the moon. Yes. Time to set up a little party on the moon for Mr. Jebidiah and Bob and Bill. Yes. Yeah, had a little brain fart there. It's been happening all day. So, latest news. We got meteors exploding and hitting all over the place. You got that one that was in Russia. I do not know the name of the town. I was watching Kurt J. Mack yesterday, and he was talking a bit about it. And what was the other one? Oh yeah, the one that flew by basically below the geosynchronous satellites. Yeah. It was funny because there was a conversation at my job and they were talking about it, and I was like, yes. You know, like I started busting out all my Kerbal Space Program terminology, which is real terminology, and everyone's like, I don't even know what you're talking about, dude. Yeah, what are you saying? And I'm like, yeah, dude, you know, it's only gonna pass by, you know, it's not gonna hit Earth ever, and all that good stuff. And yeah, blowing stuff up, it's always a fun thing. So we have a new update. I'm playing on the newest update, the latest version. I'm liking it, but there seems to be just a few minor problems as far as the graphic lag has not, the performance has not increased very much, I will say. Certain things, yes, certain things, no. When it comes down to the actual gameplay, certain things are actually a little bit faster, and certain things are a little bit slower. Like the map itself, I noticed that there's some latency on the map as far as, like, it gets a little bit laggy. And if you set to the stage only, you know, your resource chart that you have, it starts to lag a little bit. I noticed that too. There's minor things with this game now. It seems like they got all the kinks out, then they update the engine, and new kinks are back in the game again. I'm not knocking the game, don't get me wrong, but my main thing is just that, like, I was hoping that they optimize it so people who have crappier computers can play the game and it actually works a lot better. That I understand that the game is like an alpha, so chances of it actually being optimized like that are so far down the line that you know, it's probably not gonna happen within the next 2 months or a month. Like, you know, crossing your fingers or even holding your breath isn't gonna save any of it. So as the updates come out, I will be covering the updates. I know this one I was a little bit late, and that had to do with the fact that I've been having internet troubles a little bit, but it's okay, you know. I love you guys, so I'm willing to deal with slight internet troubles in order to give you Kerbal Space Program epicness. So we need to get this bad boy into space, or well, I mean into orbit around the moon, and that shouldn't be too hard. I don't know, I feel like I was a bit of a noob a little bit ago, because I've had to launch this thing now like a couple times, and you know, my first one I had problems with, my second one, my first one, I screwed up the landing stage on it basically, and it went from basically, whoa, what am I doing here? RCS. There we go. It went from basically being, you know, from it just like spun out like crazy and it just crashed into the moon. My second one, I didn't plan out the burn properly for landing, and I do that occasionally. That's the only real surprises I ever get anymore with this game, is I never plan out my landings properly. So, you know, whatever. If you guys have been watching Thor LP, he just made it to Joule, and with his like interplanetary vehicle that he constructed, and I kind of want to do something along the same lines as that. Not the same craft, but I want to build mine differently. I want to move space stations, and I want to move, I'm probably going to pack probes and land probes on the planets, and my main focus is trying to get to Joule. If I can get back from Joule, like I can do return missions, then even better. But I'm just keeping my fingers crossed right now that I can actually even construct this vehicle, because there's a lot of planning that is involved with doing this, and I'm not one for planning with a lot of these things. If you guys haven't noticed, like a lot of my stuff, I just kind of come up with the design, and then I just kind of go from there, and that's it. Like there's no like double and triple, you know, like building it perfectly on the in the VAB. Like I don't do that. I just kind of build it the best way I can, and if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then I'm just kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Time to redesign it again. Now I gotta do this because I forgot the last time in my staging. These are the ion engines, and I gotta move these over, otherwise landing would be very fun. Kind of like how fun it was the last time I landed. Or, well, the first time, I should say. I hope you guys are liking the solar bird plane that I built. That is probably, I'm not gonna do too much on solar planes, or, you know, I just thought it was a really strange design that not a lot of people do. And I'm currently working on another one, but I probably won't shoot a video of it, not unless if I do something like extravagant with it. I'm redesigning it to the point where I'm trying to get it out of the first layer of atmosphere, if that's possible. I don't really know. If I can do that, then maybe it will be, you know, a lot better. But I just, right now I got it to the point where it's got like 15 engines on it now, compared to the 9 it had in that video. I believe it was 9, I'm not sure. Yeah, wait, no, it was 11. Yeah, 11 engines. There we go. So, yeah, I'm trying to work on that, see what happens. If not, it will just burn up and explode and make all kinds of nice fireworks for all the Kerbins to watch. Let's see. Let's get this moon burn done. Let's get this thing to the moon already. What am I waiting for? It should have a... It should pop up here any second. There we go. And that is really far off. Let's get this closer. That should be good for now. Delete this. Let's get out there a little bit first, and then we'll fix it some more. But yeah, what else? They have, I'm probably gonna start my work on Mun Base Space Station again here shortly. I kind of been neglecting that along with a lot of my projects, if you guys haven't noticed. I've been just trying to do all kinds of crazy things. That's, you know, I've been trying to get something to the moon here, and I wish this would stop spazzing out. It's kind of annoying. You know, I've been trying to get some of my projects. You know, the space plane thing was kind of a little offshoot of it. You know, a bunch of other stuff. Yeah, that is so annoying right now. Wow. That is really that's almost like monitor punching angry kind of stuff right there. Whatever. That's driving me nuts. So, Mun Base Space Station will be... I'm the one thing I kind of want to get there right now is some fuel. I've been really considering getting fuel there for a while, and I kind of been holding off on it for a while just because I don't know how I'm going to deliver the fuel packages and what kind of fuel I want to store there, not to mention how I want to actually have the fuel station set up for stuff to come and fuel and everything else, and you know, all that good stuff. So get this burn in 24 seconds. I'll just do it right now because this is driving me insane. Absolutely, completely insane at every single possible step. Oh, it keeps flashing too. This is just annoying. This has got to be one of my most annoying moon missions ever. Let's see if I increase this a little bit. What will that change? That's the one thing I always have issues with, is sometimes I just don't know what to change in order to create a change on the other end, and I'm kind of just pulling and, you know, pushing. Yeah, that does not sound right. Yeah, I'm just kind of moving things around. Yeah, that even sounds worse. To figure out the best way to fix this, because sometimes not every moon launch I have is always the best, but I always try, you know. You gotta try. Oh my god, it stopped flashing. Finally. Oh my god, that's just amazing. Like, I thought it was like, oh, yeah, I think I spoke too soon. Whatever, let's get this thing in the orbit around the moon. That way, it will stop this flashing. I'm sure there's somebody out there too that's like, you're doing this all wrong. And I love you. I do truly love you. I really do hope and wish the best for you, because I just needed the spinning and the all that stuff to stop. It wasn't a good thing. So if you guys haven't noticed already, I have a Twitter set up and a Facebook. Now, this is the most involved I have ever been in anything in my entire life, as far as like having a Twitter set up and everything else. I was just kind of like not sure whether I should set it up in the first place or you know, basically do anything with it. But you know, I'm figuring, you know, what I'm gonna do is, you know, every time I release a new video, I will post it on the Facebook page and on the Twitter. That way you guys can see when the new videos are out. So if you subscribe to me on Facebook or Twitter, then you'll be able to know, you know, when my new videos are out, when I'm gonna do something new, or if I just post something like, hey, I'm bored. You know, I'm considering at some point the possibility of live streams. Not that I'm actually going to do a live stream, but I'm considering it. I don't know right now. I don't have a good connection where I live, but I do have a few friends' houses that I can, you know, basically take over their internet in their house for, you know, a few hours and just be like, yeah, so you're not using any internets, and yeah, it's all mine. So I'm considering it, but if it doesn't happen, don't be mad at me. Now let's get this thing on the ground already, because I am sick of launching missions. Oh god. Yeah, I noticed that they changed the font too in this game a little bit. They changed a lot of little minor details with certain things. I bet a lot of you guys have noticed. I just didn't even, you know, like, I didn't really read a lot of the release notes and stuff like that with the game, so I'm sure there's another person out there that's like, oh my god, we already know. Leave us alone. But, yeah, so... yeah, the font's a little different. Everything they changed very slightly with the game. I don't know if it has to do with the engine or if I don't really know. I'm not very savvy when it comes to programming sense, so I don't really know much. Like, just setting up a Twitter account for me was kind of... I was kind of clueless, considering I've never used Twitter in my life. I always kind of laughed at the people who use Twitter, so if anything, you can laugh at me now. So, while I facepalm. Let's see. 1 minute. Let's get it down to 30 seconds. I'm really surprised how big this community has been getting, too. It's... you know, like, to me, I remember Minecraft in beta, and I used to talk about Minecraft, like, all the time with all, like, a lot of my friends and stuff like that would be like, oh, what game you playing right now? I'm like, Minecraft. They're like, what's that? You mine in the game? What's the point of mining? But, you know, no, like, in this game, too, it's just, like, I've been talking about it, and I almost see the same following with this game as, Minecraft eventually. Like, I really do think that this game is kind of like the next diamond in the rough, kind of, you know, when it comes down to games. So, you know, you look at EA games or something else like that, I mean, you don't see them making games like this. I'm really surprised that they haven't changed their whole idea of gaming and all that other stuff in order to incorporate for games like Minecraft and try to create something that's almost exactly the same in order to try to pull away some of the market, because EA is known for doing nice things like that. If you guys haven't noticed already, I'm not anti-gaming as far as, like, you know, the companies. It's just that, like, to me, like, with this game, alright, they admit that the game is an alpha. I understand that there's problems with it, and that the game is going to eventually get better. But when I go to the store and I buy the latest copy of whatever game it is that they sell for PlayStation or Xbox or something like that, I'm not saying that I expect the game to be perfect out of the box. But if you're gonna go as far as making me pay $55 or $60 for a video game, make sure that the game actually works and it's actually, you know, almost in a perfect state at the point of when I buy it. Because if it's not, then I'm never gonna ever buy a video game from you again. Like Minecraft in the beginning, sure, had bugs, had problems. Certain points, yes, the game kind of did get unplayable for certain things. And certain things weren't even useful in the game. Like, I remember when zombies used to drop feathers. Like, I remember all that little stuff in the game that just made, like, almost no sense. But, you know, eventually they changed it, and now chickens drop feathers, and zombies drop, whatever, that, like, rotten meat or whatever. You know, it's just, like, the game has changed so much since I first started playing it, and... but, you know, when it comes down to, like, the big-time gaming companies, like, they really need to catch up in a sense. Like, if they're going to release a game, they might as well release it and then make you pay for the expansions and then eventually make you pay $50 or something. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not anti-EA or any of these big companies. It's just, I get annoyed with the idea of them selling a game that is basically not even done yet and still ripping me off for tons of money. Because I consider $50 to me. I mean, I'm 24 years old. I mean, I have a full-time job. I have money in my bank account and everything else. But I'm still frugal when it comes to spending money. And I find it absolutely appalling to spend $50 on a game that's just complete crap. You know, it's not even... It's just, you know, a completely unfinished state of game that isn't even good or anything. It's kind of enrages me a little bit to even spend money like that just on a game that's just complete crap. But yeah, let me get off that rant right now, because right now we are landing, so it requires lots of focus. With this one, I'm probably gonna get quiet a little bit, I will say right now, because this is very untested and I don't even know if I'm gonna land. So okay, this is out of fuel. Get rid of this. Turn on that RCS, and I'm probably gonna have to use a lot of RCS just to land this thing, because it is not very stable. So we'll see how this goes. This is probably gonna be another landing of video of me crashing it, possibly. I don't know. The altitude is still way too high for me to make that judgment, so it looks like we're slowing down fast enough, but I could be wrong. Yeah, so time to put on the game face. That's what I always have to say. It's the game face. Trying to keep this thing in the center is going to be even harder than landing it, probably. So let's see if SAS will even work for us. Yeah, it looks like we got lucky with the SAS. And I really hope some of you new guys on my channel are enjoying my videos, because nothing makes me feel better than, you know, getting a new subscriber and getting somebody who is just loving my videos, loving what I'm doing. Oh, that looks awesome. You know, I really try to go outside the box with this game, because a lot of people that play this game kind of don't really do a lot of different things. It's always just kind of the same kind of videos and the same kind of stuff that's always going on. And, you know, I kind of want, you know, there's only so many videos you can see of a space station. There's only so many videos you can see of a lot of things before it's just kind of not really amusing anymore, in a sense. You know, I really like a lot of the different videos with Kurt J. Mack and, you know, Thor LP. He's always doing something crazy. That's like the best part about his channel. It's always something just insanely, just something you look at and you're like, why would you even do that? Are you insane? Is there something wrong with you? Who else? The Solar Gamer doesn't really do that many videos anymore, but, you know, I'm hoping that he starts doing some stuff. You know, he has the, he actually made the trailer for this game, for the latest version, which I think is amazing. You know, I really love, that's the other thing that I think is really great about the small-time game companies compared to, like, EA, is that they'll listen to the people who are playing the game, because the people who are playing their game is like their bread and butter. But in the same sense is they're also willing to do new things with the game, as far as, like, say I create a video and then they'll say, like, oh, you know, they'll support their community, whereas EA doesn't care about its community, because all it's cared about is really just making the next $10 off their game or $50 off their game. So We're getting really close to the surface, guys. We actually have a shadow. And it really looks like they updated the shader, too, for this game, I think. I'm trying to come in really slow, because I do not want to break it. And this has got to be my best landing ever. Like, absolutely best landing ever. Such a nice touchdown. Well, anyways, guys, thank you for listening to all of my ranting and spieling and everything else. Oh, better turn the RCS off. Yeah, there we go. Anyways, we have our Mun Base bus. Now, I'm going to, get who is it? Whoever's in the lander somewhere around here. Yeah, there it is, Orbiter 1. I'm going to get them inside here, and my next video will be driving this bad boy around. I should put some neons on it. I'll see you next time.